Today I'm working on my 2017 Ford F-150 pickup truck, and I'm getting ready to change the skull cap over the mirrors on it that I just received from Putco. I've already changed the driver's side, and I had reviewed the instructions from Putco, which I think was probably the most helpful. I did try to look at the couple videos that was posted online where someone had just grabbed the skull cap with their hands and used a prying tool for like an interior molding tool and pried it off. And I think once you see how this thing comes apart, I don't see how it could work unless you'd already had it on and off 4 or 5 times. And at that point you're going to have these plastic joints, I'll call them, stretched to a point that I don't think the skull cap would stay on very professionally or for the longevity of the vehicle. I just couldn't see it happening. And I watched another video where they took the rear view mirror off, and it just was not explicit enough for me to fully understand it in my simple mind. But what I started out with, we're going to do the passenger side again, and I've got the mirror ran all the way in and up, and I've got the defrost elements on my rear view mirror, so I'll have to unhook them once I get it off. And so first thing I've got to do is I've got to take a screwdriver and I've got to pry this cover off. And what I've done is I've folded my mirror out so that I could it'd be somewhat more accessible. And right in here in this corner there's some little pins where you can get some leverage between the mirror and the motor, and it come off actually that easy. And that was actually a lot easier than my driver's side came off. And on my driver's side I had to actually run, I did that, plus then I had to run the glass down and in, and then I pried on this top part as well. This side's got a little different configuration. The other side had a Molex plug that plugged into it, and so this may slave, I'm not for sure exactly what the intent of this was, but it's a somewhat different. So I've got to get these out of it. This one does not want to come off. There it is. So then, as the instructions said, I took these 4 Torx, they're T15 screws out. And again, the mirrors definitely didn't pop off the other side near as easy as this one did, but that was lucky for me. And then what I did is I folded this back in, and then this is pretty much will just sort of pop off. And there's two little barbs that's inside the inside here that will sort of make it a little stubborn, but it does come on off. And this light, this turn signal light, it just sets there because one of the screws goes through this and into this skull cap assembly. And so once you see this, the instruction that was on one of the YouTube videos showed just prying the skull cap off, and this is actually two different pieces that you'll see that's together. And this little indention that's on each of these is what holds it in. And someone said that, like, if you just pried on it and you broke this, that, you know, that'd be fine because the new one wouldn't have it. But my concern was it would break this little indention off, and each of these four have got it. And so that was one of my major concerns, is how I would ever pry that off, because to pry that off I'd actually have to, those four tabs would have to bend all the way in. Now on the other side that like I said, I've already changed out, I took a straight blade screwdriver and I tried to bend these around to where I could get them all the way around and get where I could just separate the front from the inner side of it. And there's some little factory indentions in this plastic molding that, for the most part, like this one, it doesn't let it go all the way above it. And I was having a real hard time, in my opinion, to get these to where they would go around. So what I did is I took a set of, and I'm going to do it again to this one because this outside cover, I don't need it. And these four little prongs, or these that's in this inner casing, that's what holds the whole skull cap on. And so if you get these bent or distorted, and I've looked at a few other trucks, then this skull cap doesn't set on it properly. It doesn't set really flush and uniform. So in my opinion, I wanted to keep these really straight and the integrity of it intact. So I'm going to take my directional cutters and I'm going to cut that off. So with that, this inner and outer side just separate. And that was the cleanest way that I saw that this come apart. And you'll see on the new one that this made complete loop. That's what I cut off. And so you would have to either break all four of those, or that you'd have to get over all four of these indentions on it for it to fit, which I don't see happening. The next thing that I did is on the other side, I went and I put this interior cover back on, and then I tried to snap the skull cap on afterwards, and they had done that on some other videos, and for me that didn't work. It didn't lock in place that well, and so what I ended up doing on the other side was the same thing I'm going to do on this side. I'm going to snap this into place. And now I can see that these are set properly, because if this little indention's not over it good, then it's not going to be on it right. So this is what worked for me. Something on there just right. So really need 3 hands to do this one. On the other side I did this also too, to where I could get it in pretty good and get a pretty good fit. believe I've got it pretty snug. It fits, and it doesn't fit quite like the factory Ford cover did. It's got a little overhang, but that was the same way the driver's side did as well. But you know, overall, I think it looks pretty nice. Then I've got to got those on there good, and then it just I just sort of pressing a little firmly. You can sort of feel that it's in there good, and then I'll just rotate the mirror in and up.